Savy here. Welcome to the channel where you subscribe to get daily updates every day on Bitcoin. I have an announcement to make. I'll be making that later on in the video. Also, I want to remind you guys we have a free Discord group in the description below the video. There is a link. Definitely check it out. It's an awesome community, guys, and let's get into it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice, and I do want to remind you we are doing a Kobo Vault Generation 2 hard wallet giveaway. We will be picking the winner at the end of the video. I'll pick a random comment from a random video throughout the week, and you'll have 24 hours to get back to me to win your Kobo. Also, don't forget, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not already, hit that subscribe button. Smash that thumbs up and leave your comment below for your chance to win next week's giveaway. So definitely don't forget to do that. Make sure you smash those likes, guys. YouTube is not helping get the videos out there. The more you guys can hit the likes, the more YouTube will push the video out there, and I appreciate you guys for that. All right, we're going to take a look at the news headlines just to get a feel for the sentiment. But before we do that, I do want to let you guys know I have made the decision. I have quit my job and I'm going YouTube and trading full time. It was a tough decision. I've done what I do at my job for years, and I was managing a company. I will be answering the phones for probably a couple weeks for them just to shift into the new management and stuff. But as of now, I did quit my job, and it came to a decision. I did it both. I worked full-time, and, you know, I did the YouTube videos, which takes a lot more time than people think, while trying to trade and work full-time, and it came to a point where I had to make a decision, and I made the decision to quit the job. So let's look at the news headlines, and thank you guys for all your support. I really appreciate each and every one of you, and I sincerely mean that. Another day in crypto warns Binance CEO after nightmare. Bitcoin futures spiked to 100,000, the mounting evidence of a new Bitcoin bull market. So all this is pretty old news. There's nothing new from yesterday's video. Obviously, we know the news is very bullish. Let's look at the fear and greed index. We're at 79, raised 2 points from yesterday in the extreme greed zone. Surprise, surprise. All right, before we get into the charts, well, we are getting in charts, but before we go in too far, we had our gap up here close at 11,795, and as of right now, we still have a gap down here at the 9670. We also have a gap. This one shows in the daily. If we go down to the 8-hour, we have a gap down here about 70. Let me zoom in so I can see it. And guys, there's nothing saying these gaps have to fill, but there's a good chance they will. 76.25 is the gap down here, and then we have the gap that no one ever seems to want to talk about, all the way down here at, I think it's at right around 35.70. So just be aware those are there, guys. And like I said, there's nothing says we have to go down to there, but there are some things in the charts that suggest that we could go down there. Either way, I am still midterm bearish here. I know a lot of people are super bullish, and they could be right. Obviously, nobody really knows exactly where it's going to go, but we can look at our price points, look at some areas that will help give us a clue as the price does move. I have this yellow dotted trend line coming down here on the monthly, which we did break above, and we are getting support on. As of now, it's around the $11,200 range. And if we look at the price action compared to the RSI here, we're getting higher highs in the RSI, higher highs in the price action, lower highs in the RSI. That is bearish divergence. Will it play out? Time will tell. I think there's a good chance it will. Let's take a look at the bullish case and the bearish case here. I've talked about it before. The one thing that looks a little bullish to me is the way the RSI is within this triangle here. It does look like we could possibly, now this would be the bullish case, to get up and get a run up and retag this trend line this week or possibly next week and get rejected. That's the bullish case. Otherwise, we turn around here and go down to these lower levels. But a break above this and a weekly close above it, I would probably say the real bull market has come, although I don't believe that just quite yet. There is going to be some life-changing trades coming up, some good opportunities, guys. If you are interested in trading them, I'm going to leave a Prime XBT tutorial up top. It is by far my favorite exchange. It's a great platform, guys. You can trade Forex, Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, all on leverage, gold, silver, oil, anything you want with just using your Bitcoin as collateral. If you use my promo code SAVY50, that will get you 50% on top of whatever you deposit as a bonus that you can use towards your margin up to 1 Bitcoin. And Savvy25 gets you 25% off your fees. Don't forget to check it out, guys. It's like I said, my favorite exchange. A lot of them other exchanges, I used to talk about Bybit and everything else, but they trade against their customers. Bybit or Prime XBT is not like that. Totally different setup for the exchange, and they are extremely fair. So yeah, check them out if you haven't already. And let's talk about my wife's webpage real quick, inkyyourimage.com. Definitely check it out. A lot of cool crypto stuff on here. You don't have to get just what you see. You can put any crypto, any saying, family pictures, whatever you want on any of this stuff. It's a great way to help support the channel. Hit my wife up in the contacts if you have any questions. All right. First off, I want to look at the daily here. As you can see, the BitMEX funding rate is favoring the bears as of right now. Every time we get a spike up like this, we usually have a crash down. So be aware of that. Let me get that off of here so we can... Where is it at? I can get this off of here. Actually, I'm going to have to get it off here like that. All right. So still, unless we break this high, we're still making lower highs in the macro, guys. Also, something I've been pointing out, that it's really weird that all the perma bulls and all that do not want to talk about. And that is this textbook bearish engulfing candle we had on the daily, guys. And unless we break that high of 12,139, I still see this as extremely bearish coming down. We do have the 8 EMA as of right now around the 11,500. If that breaks, we then have our trend line that we looked at in the weekly and the monthly at about 11,375 today. Obviously, our weekly closes today. It should be an interesting day. After this trend line, our next line of support is around 11,300, which is a 13 EMA. Then we have the 21 EMA all the way down here, right around the 10,950 range. And then the 55 EMA down at the 10,134. And then we have other trend lines to look at here. Zoom out. As you can see, right now we are above the EMAs, so technically that could be bullish. We'll take a look at both cases. I do want to go back over to the weekly real quick and look at the bullish case scenario. If we look at the thick white trend line, measured move of the breakout of that is 27,000. And then if we look at the falling broadening wedge down here, the measured move of that is 16,000. Them are your bullish case scenarios. And that would be breaking the trend line on this RSI. Now let's get back over to the daily here. Let's do a measured move looking at this as a rising broadening wedge. And a break of that could get us down to as low as, look at that, around the 30, depending on where it was to break, around the $3,500 range, which would close that gap. And it could be a stop hunt for anyone that went long here. Come down, get their stops, and shoot back up. Just a possibility, something to keep in mind, guys. I also have the targets at 6,900 that we've been talking about for months. And $5,500 to $5,600 also. We'll take a look at that in the Fibonacci retracements. But it does look like we have topped out here, in my opinion. Let's look at for the bulls here. As you can see, our RSI is way up here. Obviously, a lot of people call that overbought. Very well could be, but you got to be aware of when this happened over here. That looked like it was overbought, and then we traded sideways. RSI reset. Bam, we had another push up and into the overbought zone. I don't like calling it the overbought zone. I'm just calling it that because I'm sure you hear other people refer to it as that. But what happened was we got our big spike, traded sideways, RSI reset down, and another big pop. So that could happen over here. I'm not saying it can't, but as of now, that bearish engulfing daily candle that no one wants to talk about shows me that it is still bearish. We also had another one right after this smaller one right here, another bearish engulfing candle. So I don't know, that's two pretty big bearish signs there. And I had somebody yesterday on Twitter say that you can follow me on Twitter too if you want. It's CryptoSavy1 or at CryptoSavy1 on Twitter. Sometimes I get on there a little more than often, but I'm gonna probably start getting on there a little more now that I'm not gonna be working full time. So anyways, we're respecting this orange trend line also and getting rejected here. Just a lot of things pointing bearish to me, guys. Yeah, let's go into the daily. So on the daily, let's look at the RSI over here first. This is just a different look at the daily. Obviously, rejection up here. Yeah, it looks like it's ready to come down, guys. We'll see what happens. Keep an eye on the RSI. Also, this trend line, again, we did come up, break back below it, came back, retested it at that $10,400 level, and now if we were to come back down and retest it again, would be around the $11,300 level. Of course, we have the support right here, old resistance, according to TA, becomes new support. Now, we'll see if that happens. If the 10.5 holds, we could be in the bull market that everybody thinks we are. Let's do a measured move here. People looking at this as an inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. I've said it before, I really don't like this right shoulder at all. And let's take a look at, the measured move of that. That would be, and that's if that 10.5 actually holds, it'd be around the 17,000, which we have another measured move going to 16. So that's kind of confluent in there, but this trend line right here has to hold, or all that is not happening. 4 hour. Let's take a look at the 4 hour RSI. Seems we're still in this giant rising channel. We've been talking about this bottom trend line here. Another test of this, most likely we will get a bounce, but a break of this trend line will be a big, huge drop, in my opinion. If it holds and we come back up, bull market. Let's look at the price action in the 4 hour, and then we're going to go down to the 1 hour, and then we'll be picking our winner. I also have a chart. I'll show you after picking the winner, if I remember, because as you guys know, I don't edit my videos. I just run them raw. But I'm going to look at the BLX chart, as there is a case that we don't see the all-time high break until 2004, and I'll show you why. And again, it's just a way to look at it. It's not telling you a guarantee. Nobody knows what the hell the market's going to do for sure. All right, looking at the 4 hour. If we take Fibonacci retracement from the swing low to the swing high, the 0.236 is the 10,185. So if we do break that 10.5 level, 10,185 would be our next support. After that, we have the 0.386 or 0.382. If this 10,185 does not hold, our next point of support is going to be around 9,000. That doesn't hold, next point of support's around 8,000, which is 0.5. And then we have our target, our golden pocket zone, around 6,900. If for some case that does not hold, 5,600 is a 0.786 fib. And then, of course, down here we do have that $3,500 to $3,600 range where the gap is. Now, in the bullish case, if we do continue up here, we have this rising broadening wedge that we fell out of way back here. If we were to come up and test that within the next couple days, could be between 12,600 and 13,000. If we were to break above that, things could get extremely crazy after this, but definitely keep an eye on this trend line. If you are charting, make sure you put that in there and watch for a rejection if we make it back up here. But again, I'm pretty damn bearish here, guys. Yeah, I'd say it's time to go into the 1 hour, see what's going on there. I do have a count I showed in yesterday's video too. If you didn't watch it, go back to yesterday's video. That takes us down into the $7,000 to $8,000 range. And as of right now, it is still valid. I'm not going to go into it right now, but yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Let's go into the 1 hour. So in the 1 hour, you can see the dotted trend lines here looking like a giant broadening wedge. Then we have this rising channel in blue inside, which we are breaking down out of. We had a quick wick out of, got supported on the 200 EMA here, pop back up in, but right now looks like we are getting resistance out of it. Looks like it's wanting to drop. The measured move of that from where it's dropped out of that, it's around the $11,000 range, and that would also get us back down to test this bottom long-term trend line here. If we do that, depending on where we hit, if we were to go directly down today, would be around the 10,950 range. But like I said, keep an eye on this trend line. It does look like we're headed down to this zone, but we also have our dotted trend line from the long term. And if we came down to test that, it's going to be around 11,300. To break that could get ugly. Let's take a measured move using the top of this channel and this yellow dotted trend line, which is the bottom of the bigger broadening wedge. Let's take a measured move from there. If that 11.3 breaks, obviously our next target's around the 11,050 range. If that does not hold, it's looking like 10,270, somewhere in that range. And if that does not hold, then let's take a bigger measured move, measuring this whole thing as a... Now, this is bearish case. We will take a look at the bullish case here in a few, guys. So, all you bulls, chill out. Looking at that rising broadening wedge, where does that get us? Around the 9,450 to 9,500, which could be retesting this long-term trend line on the bottom here, all the way down to 94 to 9,500. Obviously, that would be a huge fall down pretty quick. It's definitely possible, but remember, we got major support at 10,550, and then more major support around 10,000. That's psychological. And I want to suggest to you guys, if you find something you love to do, like I have, and you can actually make money at it and quit your job, that is kind of scary, but why not try? Anyways, let's look at it in another way here, using this bottom trend line and the top trend line. Measured move of the breakdown from there could also get us all the way down to around the $8,800, $8,700 range. So guys, there's a lot of things pointing bearish. Now let's take a look at the bullish case. Bullish case is we pop back up within this trend, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen as of right now. We are getting resistance on all the EMAs up here. The 200 EMA lies around the 11,400 to 11,500, depending on if we get down there and when we hit it. So I would expect a bounce there, but that's pretty much all I would expect as a bounce. But if we are able to get back up in this channel, we could get up to this 10.3 range and look at, and this is a bullish case. Like I said, my opinion is bearish. You make up your own mind. But anyways, if we were to get back up here, we would be looking at the top of the channel around 12,350, which would break this high here. If we did not get rejected there and we were able to push above it, the measured move then becomes around the $12,900 to $13,000 range. And if we break that, don't get rejection. You know, if it did come up here, I would expect maybe come down, retest this, and then come back up to around the 13.2 range, which would be the top of this trend line here. If we break this, you know, full on bull. And yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Now let's pick our winner of the Kobo Vault. Generation 2 hard wallet. Not your keys, not your crypto, guys. I also have some links down below. You can use my affiliate links to get yourself a hard wallet. There's a few different kinds down there. Everything I have down there in my links, I actually use. That's why you don't see every exchange ever made down there, because I only show things I actually use. So unlike a lot of other people. All right, let's generate a number, random number, 5. Go into the videos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bitcoin to bullish. Let's copy the link address. We'll put it in the YouTube random comment picker and pick a random comment. There are 94 comments in there, and let's see who the winner is. Carlo I'm not even going to attempt to say that last name. I don't want to murder it, but the comment was, for real, I just started watching all these moon boys because I thought we were going to go up to the moon. Well, with my thousandaire became no longer 1,000. Now I'm just watching your channel, hoping a nice solid ground before going up and get this Prime XBT working like clockwork. Keep up the great work. Well, thanks, Carlo, and congratulations. You got 24 hours to get a hold of me. And let's take a look at that BLX chart I was talking about. If you look, I have timed, or have the length of time it took for the break of the all-time high. If we look at the all-time high right here in June of 2011, took us all the way till February 2013, which was 623 days to break the all-time high. All-time high here back in November 13th. It took us 1,232 days to break the all-time high. If that was to happen again, just another way to look at it, guys, we could be looking, that's about 95% longer each cycle. So this cycle here, if it was to do that, could be about June of 2024 before we break that all-time high, and then I would expect a huge rush up. But anyways, guys, I am long-term bullish on Bitcoin. I'm just cautious here because I do not think this is the beginning of the bull run. But thanks a lot for watching again. Again, I appreciate all your guys' support. You guys rock. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new here by clicking the CryptoSavy logo above my head. And make sure you tick that notification bell to get notified when I post videos. And when you do hit that, hit the all button or else you will not get notified. So, yeah. Don't forget to smash the likes. Leave your comments, guys. I'm out.